Okay, so I terminated this side of the shielded cable. This is a Belden 10GX, I think. So this is a category 6A cable, which is indeed shielded, and the reason it's called that is because there's a shield, which I will show you now. So the same way, I cut the jacket carefully. Try not to cut the actual wires inside. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Take it off. Here's a drain wire and the shield foil. That's part of the shield, technically. On this foil and the drain wire, they are part of the shield. So a lot of times it is peeled back. Sometimes it's just cut off. What I usually do is cut it off. Cut off the foil, expose the pairs, the same pairs, the same colors. Some manufacturers try to make our lives difficult, like Belden. In this case, there are four white. The wires, they're supposed to be like green, white, and brown, white, striped. They're not really striped, so I have four cables that are just the same color. Use your intuition. This separator core, I'm not sure what it's called officially, but it's to keep the pairs from, keep them neatly organized inside the cable jacket. So this cut off, trash. Same way, I'm going to untwist the pairs and try to keep track of which one is which, because as I said, I have 4 different colored cables and then 4 of the same color. It's kind of, you can still tell which one they're paired with. So I'm just complaining. It's not really a problem. So I'm untwisting the wires. So in this case, since the cable is shielded, the shield is used to protect it from noise, electromagnetic interference. It kind of drains that noise. It acts as an antenna of a sort, and kind of takes that noise away from the wires carrying actual data and power a lot of time too. So orange is here. So I'm going to do the same way, 568B, which makes it white orange, or so I think. Orange, white green if I'm lucky, blue, white blue, looks like, green. This is probably white brown, and brown. So yeah, shielded cable is used a lot of times in well, pretty much all the time, but in HD-based applications where you need to send like uncompressed 4K video. This is over longer distances, because a lot of times the regular Cat6 will do the trick, but if it's longer than maybe 150 feet, something like that, the shield, the noise that it picks up along the way accumulates, and it starts dropping the signal packets. Well, not the signal. It deteriorates. So shielded cable is usually the way to go in longer runs, or just in general HD-based applications. So the same way as with the previous cable, I cut them off, make them nice and aligned. So this connector that I use, that's another connector that we use. It's not an easy one, not an easy crimp. So this I'm going to have to do a little differently, and it's also staggered to achieve this Cat6 versus category 6, category 5 weight. Different manufacturers use different ways of doing it. Some make that run really short. In this case, they're staggered. so they space them out farther, wires from each other, so they don't talk to each other, because they're not supposed to. So this will be a little different than the unshielded. I just wanna, these wires sticking out need to be about a quarter inch, about a quarter inch. And connectors are used, this type of connectors, they're used with this liner. So I insert it in this liner here. They're flush, or as flush as we can get them. This particular cable, I know it doesn't fit very well inside of this connector, so I kind of know that problem already, so I'm going to shape the jacket part so it does fit. And also these connectors, sometimes pin 1 and 2 short out, and that is unpleasant a lot of times. Kind of a known problem. Okay, carefully and guided inside. The drain wire is separate from them, and make it there, push it in, and hopefully I will be able to see wires pushing back against this side, the side where with the easy connector, this side was just open, there were just holes, so you can cut them at that point. With these connectors, it's a little safer inside of it, because it prevents them shorting out on the outside, because the wires are not exposed. But then the pin, when it crimps it may still short them. So it looks like they all reach their destination, and it also looks like nothing is twisted. So I'm going to go ahead and crimp it. Crimp it. No excess, obviously, no holes. Then I take the drain wire. Again, sometimes you wrap it around the cable, sometimes you do other things. What I usually do with this type of connectors, wrap it around this tail here a few times, and tuck it under, and maybe cut off excess. Okay, so it's crimped down. Some crimpers will also take care of this shield part and will kind of wrap it around the cable nicely. My crimper doesn't do it, so I'll have to use handy tools, which will kind of, you know, scratch it sometimes and make it look a little bit not as pretty as it could be. But there are trade-offs to everything. It didn't scratch it too bad, well, still, I still know that it did a little bit. And a lot of times I just put heat shrink over it, just to kind of cover the, make it neat, make it nice and neat. Heat shrink and actual heat. Use the bottom part of the flame, so there's no soot, or the fire is not too hot, so it burns or melts the cable jacket. This is the part where it's nice to be careful. And okay, another moment of truth. Again, these cables, sometimes they fail even if you do your best job and give it. So like the length is uniform, the cable inside the jacket, inside the connector, kind of, I'm trying to go in, I'm trying to go for a uniform look whenever I can. Most of the time I succeed. Pass, this time with the shield, letter S. So this cable also passed. So this is a category 6 shielded cable, or category Cat6a, or Belden calls it 10GX, but that's just their brand thing. So this cable and this cable, that's category 6 cable terminations. Okay, thank you. I hope the video is not too big to send. Thanks for sticking sticking around, listening to it and watching.